Steele News Live, winners of 30 regional and 2 national student Emmy Awards, with Kasey Carrender and Jaliah Neely.
Today, a special edition of Steele News Live.
We take an in-depth look at the prescription drug Opana.
This is Steele News Live.
Good morning, and welcome to Steele News Live. I'm Jaliah Neely.
And I'm Kasey Carrender. Our show is a little different than usual today.
The rest of today's announcements will be read on the PA system so we can use our time to talk about a very important topic.
Perhaps you've heard of the drug Opana. Maybe you haven't.
But, as we found out, Opana is rising in popularity as a recreational drug for teenagers here at Steele.
So we devote today's entire show to Opana.
Kasey and I produced this story along with Jen Sutton and Alison Gillam.
We hope you will pay close attention.
I tried it once, and from there I was off and running with it.
It is a drug that exploded on the scene here in Amherst 18 months ago.
Opana use is probably one of the biggest problems Amherst has faced, and I think it continues to grow.
Some are addicted.
They've just been my friends for so long that it's so hard to not talk to them because I don't know, I just want to help them get better and I can't.
Dependency and false invincibility.
I just feel like I could do anything and nobody could stop me.
Opana. The word alone raises more questions than answers. This year, 4 students at Steele were suspended for possession of Opana and drug paraphernalia. But before we can examine Opana use here, it's important to answer one simple question. What is Opana?
Opana is a narcotic pain medication. The main reasons used it for chronic pain or long-term pain, the most common being usually cancer-related pain.
It's similar to morphine, so it's going to cause what we call respiratory depression where you can't breathe. It can cause your central nervous system to sort of shut down. It can impair your physical functionality. It can impair your mental ability. It can cause your blood pressure to drop to a level where you won't be able to stand up without getting dizzy.
And the reported use of Opana continues to rise. In fact, chemical dependency therapist Amy May from Psych and Psych in Elyria deals with Opana addiction and rehabilitation cases every day.
Recently, I've seen a lot of people come in with Opana dependency and Opana abuse issues. I would say probably in the last 2 months, 90% of the clients I've seen recently are here for Opana use.
Steele News Live obtained this iPhone video of an unidentified Steele student actually snorting Opana. And it raises an obvious question. How many students at Steele use Opana? Of 454 students surveyed, 12% admit to using Opana, and 46% say they know someone who has used. 2 such students agreed to share their first-hand knowledge of Opana with us under the condition that we disguise their identities. They will be referred to as Kate and Jim.
A couple of my buddies said they found something and they thought I should try it. I'd heard about it, but I thought I can do it. I was kind of big into it. I did a lot more than I ever thought I would.
I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it was dumb that they were doing it. I was sick of them doing stuff like that, and I didn't realize how big of a deal it was until like a few weeks later when they were still doing it.
Both Kate and Jim are concerned that first-time users simply don't understand how strong this drug is. According to Dr. Jen Sutton, Opana is orally 7 times as potent as morphine and twice as powerful as heroin. So a single pill will likely land the user in the emergency room, or worse. That's why users do only a fraction of 1 pill to start. Jim's increased tolerance of Opana landed him in rehab.
At first, I only did very little because it was so strong. So I'd only do like little bits at a time, but then as I continued doing it, my tolerance just kept growing and growing. At its worst point, I would be able to do about a quarter to a half a pill in one sitting and be fine. It was that bad.
While users try to conceal their Opana use, it's obvious to those around them who can see past the front.
They wouldn't be able to keep their eyes open. They would fall asleep mid-conversation.
Your body kind of goes numb. If you do too much, your mind just kind of like scatters and you can't focus on anything. Your mind is just gone.
The battle with personal addiction to Opana is only part of the user's problem. Opana is a prescription drug, so recreational use brings harsh consequences, both legally and here at Steele High School.
Possession of the drug Opana without a valid prescription is a 5th-degree felony in Ohio. That is for possession of 1 pill, and a 5th-degree felony carries a potential prison term of a year. For trafficking in Opana, which means to sell it, it is a 4th-degree felony, and if you sell it on a school property, it increases it 1 degree. And a lot of people have the misconception and say, well, I gave this to him. I didn't sell it to him. It's the same thing.
Consequences for all students they will be suspended from school, and then they'll be recommended for an expulsion from school. I think they're just like any other student that makes a bad decision. Bad decisions, bad things happen. The more extreme the bad decision is, the more extreme the consequences.
Legal and school-related consequences are usually enough to make some want to quit, but want has nothing to do with reality when a user becomes addicted to Opana. The addiction becomes involuntary.
You can't just wake up one morning and be like, oh, I'm gonna quit, because you're gonna have cravings, you're gonna want it. My mind would just not think about anything other than using.
Addiction doesn't pick and choose. I mean, anyone is susceptible to it. The potential for addiction is so high with Opana that when you use once and you have that feeling, your brain is slowly becoming rewired, and it's almost out of your hands. Most of the teenagers I work with, they think they're invincible. It's not going to happen to them. The chances of people being successful without treatment is an 8% chance.
I think that just like with any drug addict, that the only thing that's going to make a difference is when they hit rock bottom and they have no other options but to get better.
So for those who have tried Opana or are addicted to Opana, rock bottom may soon be your reality. But you aren't alone, and it's not too late. This advice is for you.
If you're addicted to it right now, my first advice to you would be tell somebody who cares about you, tell somebody who wants to help you, because very few people are going to be able to do it by themselves. If they're already addicted, you need professional help to learn how to overcome all this.
Go to someone who can help you. Go to your parents. I can guarantee you that every parent out there would rather their child come and say, Mom or Dad, I have a problem, I need some help. They would rather find out that way than down the road with you either getting in trouble or worse yet, causing harm to yourself or someone else.
For the 46% in our survey who say they don't use Opana but know somebody who does, Kate knows how you feel.
You really should inform their parents. I personally wouldn't care if someone wasn't my friend anymore because I told them, when they get better, they'll realize that you were the one who's right. I've had friends who are better now who have told me, wow, I really wish I would have listened to you when I started doing this, and I'm sorry for being so mean to you. I've had people apologize to me.
Look around you. Our survey estimates that 3 students in every classroom watching this story have used Opana. Dispute the survey results if you wish, but the fact is, Opana is present and on the rise at Steele High School. Hopefully now, it's at least out of the shadows and into the spotlight. This is Alison Gillam for Steele News Live.
We know that a lot of parents watch our show on the internet and on Amherst City Cable, so we want to show you once again what Opana looks like so you'll know it if you see it. Opana comes in blue, pink, yellow, and white, with the most popular being the yellow octagon-shaped 40 milligram pill, followed by the green 20 milligram pill.
If you are addicted to Opana or know someone who is and you would like to help, there are several treatment and counseling services available nearby. Psych and Psych is in Elyria. Also, Firelands Recovery Services is right here in Amherst, and Lorain County Alcohol and Drug Abuse Services is in Lorain. Here are the websites. You can also pick up a detailed list of locations and services on the office counter, and they are also posted on the Steele webpage.
In addition, you can see your counselors or school administrators if you or somebody you know needs help fighting Opana addiction.
And if you see somebody experiencing withdrawal or overdose symptoms, you should call 911.
That's our look at the drug Opana. As the story says, we hope it is now out of the shadows and into the spotlight here at Steele.
Thanks for watching. Steele News Live will return on Monday.
Bye.
Bye.